Hello, my name is Larry Tatum, and welcome to my video on Kenpo forms. Today I'm going to teach you Form 6. Form 6, as I said in earlier tapes, is a very intricate form. The hands are not allowed to stop. They're in continuous motion all the time. Its nickname is the flowering hand form. It's going to take some time, going to take a little bit of practice. But this will teach you to organize your techniques into one fluid motion from beginning to end. Let's get started, and I'll show you how this one works. All right, it has a salutation just like all the others, except now I can't do Form 6. I only have 5 fingers, right? So what we do is we take finger on the left hand, and we take the 5 fingers on the right hand, and we bring it up to our right shoulder, and that means that we're going to do 6 on the right side. We're going to do 6, we're going to signature on the left side as well. All right, so this is the way that you want to signify that what form that you're doing. Over to here. From this point, the hands come back, make your normal salutation, back to back, make sure you pull it, bring it up, melt it down, and when you reach this point, we're going to have circles that move into each other. And in this form, you'll see a lot of kissing, what we call kissing circles. They don't cross over as much as they bump at this point. Watch the salutation again. From here, I want you to take your right leg, step back to 6 o'clock into a left neutral bow. But as you do, I don't want you to look straight ahead. We're going to look off at a slight angle. We're going to execute a right inward parry. We're going to loop it up and make a catch. It looks something like this as the left hand comes in and executes a left inward horizontal heel palm. So from this position, we're going to step off and make both moves. Now, almost to 1 o'clock, we're going to do a right snap kick. Watch about lifting up when you do this. And the important thing is that as you begin to move, the hands continue to move. After the kick, we land into a right straight finger poke. Watch it again. We poke to the eye. We're going to take our left leg, hop off to approximately 10 o'clock, almost 11, and we're going to hook with our right hand as we circle our left hand around and then back in with a check, a right snap kick with the side of our foot, with the right leg, and as that happens, you're going to claw with your right hand as you plant. You're going to then circle clockwise with your left hand, away from your body, then back in as the other hand circles in towards the center of your body, middle knuckle hook, and then an elbow strike. Seems like a lot, but it's not all that much. Watch me do it again. Claw, middle knuckle, elbow, wipe the hands clean, kissing circles. Let's do it on the left side. Off angle, poke, parry, claw, middle knuckle, elbow. All right, let's go through this again. The hands are continually moving. They're constantly in motion. Then from that point where the elbow hits, you loop your hands down in front of you, come to the center of your body, do a right inward parry, a left outward parry, continue the right hand circling, let a right front snap kick be executed at that point, circle back in clockwise, counterclockwise rather, with your right middle knuckle, circle it over, turn that into a parry, shuffle in to a right neutral bow, and execute a right outward elbow and a left outward parry. And watch it again. We came around from this position, parry, parry, kick, middle knuckle, parry, parry, elbow. One more time. From here we claw, back knuckle. From that position, we drag our rear foot up to the front foot into a cat stance, which is no more than a transitional move. We reverse the right hand, circle it up underneath, hammer, scoop, hand sword, right inward hand sword, and a right side kick. Now watch it again from the elbow. From this position, one more time. Now, we turn and face 9 o'clock and bring the right hand down behind us. Left inward parry, right outward parry, simultaneous kick, middle knuckle, double parry, elbow. Claw back knuckle, the same thing on this side now. Reverse the circles, scoop, and chop. Hand, sword, and kick. Take your left foot, plant back towards 4 o'clock, and let your right hand drop down to a right downward parry. Left hand is cocked up to your left ear. Unwind from that twist stance, chop with your left hand, left forward bow, and chop with your right hand. Now watch that again. I'm going to take it from this position here. Claw back knuckle, up, chop, step, and look where my hands are. I'm in a left front twist stance. I unwind, chop, and I continue, and I elongate my circles at this point. All right, now from this position, I'm going to go back to a neutral as I execute a left outward hand sword, cock my right hand back, go into a left forward bow again, execute a what? A straight finger poke. From here, I go up to a right cat stance, track along my arm, execute and middle knuckle, or what's called a dragon's fist, cock my right hand back, not all the way, but just midway at this point, continue stepping through, execute a right heel palm thrust. Now watch it again. We ended up here, let's take it from this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Opposite side now. Since you're 12 o'clock, I'm going to be facing 10 o'clock as I drop back with my left leg and cock my right hand up to my left ear. As I do a left downward parry, unwind, hand sword again, cock my right hand up to my ear, right outward hand sword, finger poke, forward bow, middle knuckle again, just like on the other side, and then step through with a left heel palm strike. From this position now, I want you to take your left arm and I want you to execute a left inward block. And as you execute a left inward block, come into a right 45-degree cat stance. 1, 2, step back into a right neutral bow and execute a right inward block. No more than this. 1, 2. One more time. This is an important part. It's a good transition to learn. 1, 2. All right, from here, you're going to shuffle forward. And as you do, you're going to circle your back hand in, and you're going to grab and claw. The bottom hand is going to, the top hand rather, is going to come down and check. And from that point, you're going to grab with both hands. You're going to step back. And as you step back, as soon as you get back, you're going to circle your hands clockwise, going forward from left to right. And just as soon as you get back here, I want you to execute a front chicken kick. Left leg, right leg, and then plant with a stiff arm lift, or what they call a stiff arm back knuckle. Come straight up with it, come back down with it, make a figure 8 with a hammer fist and a back knuckle, and as soon as that back knuckle starts to move back to your right hip, step back, inward block, do it on this side. 1, 2, front chicken, plant, up, down, hammer fist, back knuckle. All right, let's watch that again. We're from here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and hit again. Down, make your figure 8, make it come around, and just as it reaches the bottom of the circle, I want you to step into a cat stance. I want you to face 9 o'clock, do a right inward parry, left inward parry, and then I want you to bring both hands down together, and I want that line, as you go into a left forward bow, to complement this line here. The left hand is on top. Now watch how I did that again. Right, left, push. Now from here I want you to shuffle forward, execute a right inward elbow into a neutral bow, push down, come up, and then you can twist back a little bit with your hips. I want you to grab with the palm facing up. We're going to be grabbing with the index finger and the thumb. Watch that again. We've brought it down to this position here. Shuffle forward, elbow, grab, push down. From here, reverse the circles, and then have 2 finger grabs, one on top, one on the bottom. From this point, we're going to take the right leg cover, and we're going to face 3 o'clock, use a right downward parry, a left upward outward parry, inward parry again. It's a little tricky to follow, but I think you can do it. Bring the hands down in the same position as I go to a right forward bow. Shuffle forward, elbow, hook down and up, reverse the circles, and do it again on this side. Let's do it in one sequence so you get a better idea. All right, now from this position, take your left leg step forward to 12 o'clock. As you do, circle your right hand up towards your chest, behind the left arm, bring it up, and make an X at this point. Now we've learned how an X can work in the other forms. So from here we make the X, make a grab. I want you to flower your hands so that both of the palms are facing up. Then come all the way down, circle down clockwise, left to right, step forward to 12 o'clock, almost as if you were doing a golf swing. You're coming down, swinging, stepping through, do a left reverse step through, and bring your hands back to your hip. Right over left. Now watch that again. We ended up here facing 3 o'clock. Bring the hand up, make that X. Make the flowering motion here, bring it through, and then back. Good posture. Now, I want you to take your right hand, swing it up, make a circle around by passing your front knee, reverse the circle, come back towards my right knee, sweep with your left leg, plant in a left front twist stance, and I want you to check with your left hand and swing your right hand, looping overhead strike over your head. Then step out into a right neutral bow, cock your left hand to your hip, and your right inward block forward. Now let's watch that again. We ended up here, and then we begin to move. Now on the opposite side. Okay, now from here, the blocking hand with the left hand at this point facing 12 o'clock turns into an open check. All right? We step through, do a right inward elbow, pivot, do a left outward elbow. And you'll notice that this hand is checking on top. I'm going to hop switch and do a side kick. But just as I hop switch, my hands are going to switch as I kick, and I'm going to grab with my right hand, have this hand up as a check. I'm going to take my right hand, circle it up, and I'm going to hook back with my index finger. I'm going to sweep with my left leg and circle my left arm as my bottom hand checks and grabs. At this point, I'm going to step out and do a right inward block, cock my left hand back. All right, now we'll watch that again. Remember, we went from here, hit, sweep, plant. Here we go, all in one motion now. We'll do it slow. Elbow, elbow, hop, switch the hands, grab, up, sweep, grab, step out, inward block. Now we're going to do it on this side. Elbow, elbow again. As this hand checks, hop, switch, kick, grab, up, check again, sweep, grab. Now from this position, we're going to take our left leg and hook behind the right knee. We're going to leap off towards 10 o'clock, do a left inward parry, and cock our right knee up to the left knee. Watch that again. So we ended up here. We hook, leap off, parry, circle the right hand around, come back through with a right heel palm strike. All right, now from this position, we're going to step into a modified left closed kneel with an elbow, downward elbow, as we did in Form 5. We're going to step back into a wide left forward bow. And as we do it, we're going to pull the right hand back with the wrist cupped and this hand in an open check. We're going to do a right front crossover into a right front twist stance. And as we do, we're going to take our arms and we're going to circle them again. And we're going to make opposing circles at this point. And they're both going to hook. Both of the hands are going to hook at this point. Keep your elbows in close. Don't let it get out. Watch again. Now from this point, you're going to do a left downward outward parry. You're going to do a monkey hand, which we learned in the other kata before. We're going to unwind into a left reverse bow and let our hands move with us. And as we do, this hand's going to hammer. We're going to heel kick. This hand checks. We're going to do a left front crossover, check, sweep, grab again. All right, let's take it from this position again. Hook, left parry, step, heel palm, elbow, sweep, crossover, check, parry rather, hit again, both foot and hand, crossover, catch. Okay, now we're going to hook with our right foot because we're going on the opposite side. Leap off towards 10 o'clock, parry, cock the left leg, heel palm. All right, now from that position, elbow, step back and do it on this side. The same thing applies. All right, let's take that again all the way through. I'll do it slow, and I'll let you watch it a little bit. Now from here, what we're going to do is we're going to be facing 3 o'clock into a right front twist stance. We'll take our left leg, face 12 o'clock into a left front twist stance. And as we do it, we're going to do a left outward parry, bring the right hand up to the center of the body, step out into a right neutral bow, and execute a right horizontal heel palm strike. Watch it again. From that position, I'm going to come up to a one-legged stance, right inward parry, and a left straight vertical finger thrust as I simultaneously cock my right foot to my left knee. Plant forward again with a right back knuckle. Watch it again. All right, now we're going to do it on the opposite side. So we take our right leg, cross over, parry, step out heel palm, and then we do it on this side. Kick, back knuckle. All right, let's do it again. We'll do the right and left side without stopping. Now from here, we're going to take our right leg, step over facing 3 o'clock into a right neutral bow. We're going to parry, do an outward parry with our left hand, grab with our right hand at this position, go to a right forward bow, do a horizontal finger poke. Slide our hands back, circle our hands to our left. Left to right usually indicates what? Clockwise movement. All right, no sooner I get there that I have a triangle right in front of my face. Now watch again. I parry, grab, poke, circle in front of my face. At this position, I want you to kick, and as you kick, I want you to orbit your right hand, plant, well, there's that forearm strike again. We're here, up, we hit. Now we're going to do it on the other side, so we're going to need to cover with our left leg. Outward parry at the right hand, grab, step back, kick, stiff arm lift. All right, let's do this all the way through so you can get a better idea of what we're doing. Okay, now we ended up here, right? All right, next move, I want you to go into an in-place twist stance, or a rotating twist stance. It's another name for it. And as we do, we're going to twist to my right. We're going to face 4 o'clock as we do a right outward block. And as we do it, I want you to left hand the chamber, step to 4 o'clock, execute somewhat, it looks like we're breaking an arm at this point. And what we're doing is we're pulling the right hand down to our right hip, the left arm goes out into an uppercut position. All right, watch that again. Then hammer fist with the left hand, step through into a right forward bow, and as you do, I want a left heel palm check, and I want you just to drop your right hand down to your leg. Now it looks at it like from this angle, right, when I step through. You see how that right hand drops down? All right, now, so basically we ended up here, twist, 4 o'clock, break, hammer, step, bring your right hand up, circle it around into a horse stance. Now continue it, we're going on the other side as well. Outward parry towards 8 o'clock, or an left outward block, break again, hammer, step, lift, and rotate back towards the camera, which is 12 o'clock. All right, let's see that again. At this point, take your left leg, step back to 2 o'clock into a left twist stance, cock your hands to your right hip, unwind towards your left, which is facing 2 o'clock, do a left outward block. This is called split tongue of the snake. Some people call it Spock, whatever you like. All right, we're going to poke with it at the same time. As we come out with it, we're going to simultaneously kick. So it's going to look something like this. And then come down with the shape of the crane, come up at the elbow. Step back, and as you step back, I want you to mold off the palm of your left hand. Step back into a right neutral bow. Bring the hand back up, touching the palm of the hand. Knee, and circle your right hand just past it, and plant with a right hand and knee sandwich. Watch it again. We ended up here. Put your hands to your left hip. Take your right leg, circle around to the opposite 45, in this case, which will be, what, 10 o'clock. Block, parry, kick, up, back, grab, knee, knee sandwich. Let's do it again. At this point, cock your left hand to your hip. Do a left rear crossover towards 3 o'clock, right outward parry. Step out towards 3 o'clock into a right neutral bow. Grab with your left hand in front of the right. Watch it again. 1, 2, step again into a left neutral bow. Step over with your right leg. Now we're going to pivot and face 9 o'clock. Bring your hands all the way to your left hip. At this point, I want you to scrape with the bottom of your right foot and cock your right hand to your hip. As you do it, you're going to stomp down just towards 10 o'clock, pivot into a left closed kneel, drop down low, and I want those fingers to open up again as you pull your right hand into your left hip, left hand into your left hip. At this point, we're going to cross behind with our right foot, execute a left outward parry, make our grab like we did on the other side, step with the right leg, left leg. Now we're going to face 3 o'clock again. Bring the hands all the way around into a right forward bow. As I begin my scrape, cock my hand, stomp, drive it in, take my right leg, cross around, and face the front in a horse. Okay, let's see what that looks like again. We ended up here. Right into your horse stance. At this point here, this is where it gets a little intricate, so you're going to have to follow me slowly. I want you to do a right outward parry with your right hand and a left inward horizontal heel palm to the center of your body. At this point, I want you to reverse the circles, and I want you to take your left hand, bring it back out, your right hand goes over, and pull it in a second time. The first time is this way, the second time steps out and pulls. It looks like this. 1, 2. Left hand has to do the same thing. We bring it in and do the first of the right side, or the left side, and pull it in. All right, let's watch it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. One more time. Okay, now from here, I want you to take your right hand and just like you're waving high, circle it over to your left shoulder and wave. All right, so we're going to take it from here up to here. We're going to circle it over and bring the bottom hand down in the opposite direction. At this point, we're going to do a right sandwiching elbow, split the arms apart, and we're going to wave high to the other side and do a left inward elbow. And then we're going to cross in with our salutation, slip the arm, the right hand, all the way back, bring it forward with the scholar and the warrior, back to back, pull, tension stance, all the way down, melt it to prayer, close it like we started it. Okay? All right, now, we ended up in this position. So we hook over with our left foot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, circle it, watch these circles, and then out. And then you have the form. I hope you practice it. It's going to take a little bit of work. It's a little hard to explain, especially for a video, but I think we did it. All right, let's take this form and explore it a little bit, take some of the techniques and see what we can come up with the help of Sebastian. Now, there is a technique in there, and particularly in the beginning, where I step back, we heel palm, parry and grab, kick, poke, hook, and so forth. But now, I want you to understand that this form is unique in that it takes weapons away from the opponent. Now, whereas in Form 5, it was primarily takedowns, so working on the outside of the opponent's body in the beginning, Form 6 is primarily used in taking the weapon away from him and using it back against him. Now, in that beginning kata, as I said, we stepped back, kick, poke, hook, parry, claw, middle knuckle, and elbow. All right, now let's put a weapon in his hand, and I'll do it at this angle so you can get a better idea. Now, we started out in this position. Sebastian, put your right leg back. Now, we're going to take that knife attack this time with this motion to see what happens, all right? Sebastian? All right, so we're going to parry, and we're going to possibly break. All right, now if we break, we may lose the knife, which is fine, but we may want to change that for different needs. Let's say, for instance, the same thing came in, but instead of breaking, we found a nerve on the high point of the muscle and loosened it just enough so that I can come back and now steal the weapon. All right, now watch again. All right, so we parry it, and we pinch off that nerve, steal the blade away from Sebastian. If you put enough pressure, it's going to pull that arm away from us because of the pain itself. We'll torque it away. All right, now as we steal the blade, we make our kick. From here, we can strike here, slice with it across the neck, hook the arm with the back of the blade as we kick, heel palm, and slice again as we come down. And if you look at it without Sebastian, it's no more than what? And then you can begin to follow the moves. Watch again. We pick it up, take it away from him. Kick, right, hook. Slice it over, catch him, and cut him. And you notice that the kick plays an important part in the cut. That means that when my foot's in the back of his knee, as I push down, it only increases the power of the cut. There's a lot of interesting moves in this form. More than just stealing a knife. Thank you, Sebastian. Now, if we're unable to actually take the weapon, whether it be a club, knife, gun, or whatever, away from him, then getting to drop it is a must, particularly if we're fighting more than one person. Now, there's a technique in here where that I drop back, parry, right, cock my hand up, unwind and chop, chop again, chop, finger poke, middle knuckle, and heel palm, right? All right, now let's see how this can be helpful. And I want you to watch how we explore this technique and find targets or make openings for ourselves. Let's see that knife, then, in essence, is coming to the ribs, the kidney, something of this nature. So he comes in, right? So I'm going to parry. Now, as I parry, I drop back, I unwind, and try to get Sebastian to drop the move on this, at least the first or the second shot. The first one didn't do it, but the second one, we'll do it a little slower. The first one actually parried. The second one made him drop it. If we were not on focus, we parried and he didn't drop on this one, then we have a follow-up. Where does that go? To the bicep, in the hopes to make him drop it there. All right? Now, take it again. We have a parry. Try to make him drop it. If he doesn't, go to here. If that doesn't work, then we're going to shoot up to the throat. And as we shoot, bam! Make sure that that hand comes down and checks that blade, because you don't want that to come flashing up in your face. All right, you take a guy with a big arm, it may take quite a few moves to get him to drop it. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now, the next move is, he still hasn't dropped it, so what do? We go to a forward bow, check down the arm, make sure you check that blade, poke him in the eye. Generally, the eye will make him do it. If it doesn't, if that arm comes up, which it will, if you got poked in the eye, where's your hand going to go? That's going to go up, and as it goes up, we have a new target. So now we take a middle knuckle, and we go after that target here. You see it from this angle here, in the hopes, again, to make him drop that knife. So there's a lot of moves in this technique. Some of you say, well, I can make a guy drop a knife on the first move. Yeah, one thing to do it, in a studio, another thing to do it in real combat. And I would rather have a number of follow-up techniques at my disposal than just one move. So we can go 1, hopes that this will be enough. If it's not, this one can make him drop it. This one could. This one could. If that didn't, the eye poke could. And if it didn't there, this can do it. And then we can follow up, do whatever we want. Thank you, Sebastian. But you notice that in the form, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 moves. Actually, there's 6 if we count them in a different way. The important thing is that you're learning now different ways to make a guy drop a weapon. All right, now, I said that we're taking weapons away throughout this kata. Let's find another technique where we actually steal the weapon. All right, Sebastian, would you get the club? We'll come over here. Now, when a club is being jabbed at you and thrusted towards you, and that's a good way to use it, by the way. This is a good way to use it, then to roll it and so forth, rather than just flailing with it, but thrusted towards you. There's a possibility you can steal that out of his hands. Now, as he moves, we can parry, right? Get that out of our line of target, us, parry it. But as we parry, we can use a kick in the hopes to get him to drop it. If that doesn't work, we can catch with this hand. Now, as we catch, I'm going to circle in and take a middle knuckle. And what happens here is a knuckle on the bicep will make Sebastian either drop it, but we don't want that to happen, so what we're going to do is that we're going to parry, catch, so that we located it, kick, middle knuckle. Now the weapon is what? It's ours at this point. Claw, back knuckle. We can now, the weapon is at our disposal as we use it. And if you look at it in the kata, it looks something like this. Parry, parry, kick, middle knuckle, double parry. And it's not just the elbow hitting at this point, but what? It's the club. Watch again with the club. Parry, come a little closer, parry, kick. Middle knuckle, we've stolen it, change the hands, there's the strike. Claw, back knuckle, hit. Let it become part of our arm, part of our motion. Okay? Now, at this point, if Sebastian was to come over, if he was another opponent, if he came with the other arm, the club now is what? Part of our motion, and we can use it throughout the fight. Whether I use it this way, or this way, up, and so forth, there's a lot of ways it can be used. Thank you, Sebastian. Good. All right, now let's take a technique where we have an overhead club. Now, in this technique, we're going to steal it from him, and as Sebastian swings, we're going to execute a right over left obstruction block, okay? Now, the reason for this, we don't want the left over right because I don't have any use of my hands, really. If I have my right on top and left underneath, then I have use of this hand, and that's important, remember that. And you'll see that in the form, of course. All right, so we take it and carry his motion. Remember that flowering motion I was telling you about in here? All right, so we don't want to stop his motion. We just want to carry it through and use it against him. All right? So as we move, we pick it up, make the carry, steal it from him at this point. Step back, make the hit, catch the back of the head. At this point, knee, back of the knee, sweep, catch him on the side of the head, all the way up, contouring the body and checking the arm over here as I hit him. Now, the club is part of the fight. If Ernie came in, I could block with it as well as use it to break his arm. So it's a part of what we are doing at this point. Wham! And carry it on through. Watch it again. So we move, catch it, steal it. That's the idea. It's part of what we're doing now. Catch, break with it, carry it on through, and so forth. Now, thank you, gentlemen. If you look at this, in the form, basically, it's up, and what you do with the club at that point on the opposite side is up to you. I gave you an idea, gave you a little bit of an obscure version of it, but this is to tantalize you a little bit and get you to think about it. All right, now let's take an application against a gun. And a lot of people say, well, you know, that's tricky business, and it is. And the most important thing to remember about when you're dealing with a gun, rifle, something of this nature, is if you're far enough away, keep the distance. Try and get some cover, try and run away from it. If you are close enough to where you can apply a technique, then try it, if it means your life. If the guy is indication and you believe that he's not going to shoot you, don't make the attempt. But if you know and you feel in your heart he is going to try and shoot, make the attempt. But the attempt can only be made if you're close enough. All right, now, if we take Sebastian and we put a gun to my back between the shoulder blades, as an example, I can rotate and parry this, come through, break it, and in the hopes to possibly what? Get rid of it. But the moment I take this hand back, this hand could go right in my face and spoil the whole attempt. So, what we can do is we can turn, grab and break, hammer to the groin to get his body to go down, or heel palm, however we want to do it. Now here's the key move in this technique. Roll it around and contour the arm and step forward. At this point now, put a little bit of pressure and that will release the hand, and there it is, stealing the weapon away. All right, watch it again. We have 1, 2, 3. Make the break. Take it out, and the weapon's yours. Now that is no more, thank you, Sebastian, and we've done in the form, is where you see me rotate in place, step through, make the break, hammer. This is the key movement right here that can make that release possible for you. You can take the gun out, hit him back in the face with it, whatever you want to do. All right, now watch again. I'm going to do it from a different angle so you can get a better view of it. So what I do is I turn, rotate into the action, make my break, hammer the groin, step through, and there's the key movement to get him to release it. This concludes the tape on Form 6. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did, teaching it to you. It's intricate and it's fun, as I told you it would be. I want you to look forward to the upcoming tapes because I'm going to do Form 7, and that's with 2 knives. I'll also be doing a tape on the staff, and that is upcoming as well. Until then, I'll look forward to seeing you again. Best regards to all of you.